That was the biggest bust I ever had in the pawn shop.
Rick Harrison wouldn't be Rick if he didn't know how to work his magic at his pawn shop. From the beginning, he's been making jaw-dropping purchases that are as wild as they are impressive. As an American businessman, reality TV star, and the proud owner of his father's shop since 1989, Rick has continually raised the bar. But are his latest buys truly the ultimate jackpot? Hold on tight, because we're about to find out. Richard Kevin Harrison, aka Rick, was born on March 22, 1965 in Lexington, North Carolina. He was born to Richard Benjamin Harrison Jr., a U.S. Navy veteran, and Joanne Rue Harrison. He was the younger brother to Sherry Joanne Harrison, who sadly passed away at 6, and Joseph Kent Harrison. He has a younger brother named Chris Harrison as well. Now here's an interesting fact about his family. Did you know that there's a family tale mentioned by Rick's son, Corey, that ties them to the U.S. President William Henry Harrison? Crazy, right? But Rick isn't convinced, though. His father, however, believed they were distantly related to President Benjamin Harrison, William's grandson. In 1967, when Rick was just 2, the family moved to San Diego, California, following his father's Navy transfer. But young Rick's life wasn't easy. Rick started having epileptic seizures when he was only 8. This meant that he had to stay bedridden most of the time while kids his age played outdoors. However, this little hiccup did work out in his favor because during this period, he discovered a love for reading, particularly the Great Brain series by John D. Fitzgerald. The series, featuring a young con artist named Tom D. Fitzgerald, had a significant impact on him, planting early seeds of his knack for clever deals. Rick was also fascinated by physics and history, especially the Royal Navy of the late 1700s and early 1800s. But despite his intellectual interests, he dropped out of Taft Middle School in 10th grade to run a profitable $2,000 a week business selling fake Gucci bags. In April 1981, the collapse of his parents' real estate business prompted the Harrison family to relocate to Las Vegas, Nevada. At 17, Rick faced another life-changing moment when his girlfriend Kim became pregnant. Though the pregnancy ended in miscarriage, they decided to marry and welcomed their first child, Corey, on April 27, 1983. 2 years later, their second son, Adam, was born. However, Rick and Kim eventually separated. Not long after, Rick met Tracy on a blind double date. They hit it off, and after 6 months of dating, they moved in together. 8 months later, they tied the knot, blending their lives and raising Corey and Adam together. The Harrisons opened their iconic pawn shop in 1989, and by 2006, it was already famous for some incredible sports collectibles. They even have a 2001 New England Patriots Super Bowl ring from cornerback Brock Williams. Basically, Rick and his crew have been stashing away treasures and wild, fancy items for quite some years now. But turning their daily hustle into a TV show? That's a whole different story. You see, Rick spent 4 years trying to pitch the idea of a show after his shop appeared on Insomniac with Dave Attell in 2003. But sadly, he had no luck. Then, in 2008, Brent and Colby from Left Field Pictures had a brilliant idea, a reality show set in a Vegas pawn shop. They pitched it to Rick, and the rest is TV magic. The series was first pitched to HBO, which preferred a format similar to Taxicab Confessions, set at the night window of the gold and silver. However, as fate would have it, the show ultimately found a home with History Channel. Nancy Dubuck, History Channel's president, stepped in and revamped the concept. She added on-camera experts and focused on the shop's colorful crew and customers. The show was initially going to be called Pawning History, but a clever left-field staffer suggested Pawn Stars for a cheeky twist. And so, one of America's most beloved TV shows was born. Pawn Stars captivated audiences with the dynamic Harrison family at its core. The show featured Rick Harrison, his father Richard, known as the Old Man, his son Corey, aka Big Hoss, and Corey's childhood friend and loyal employee, Austin Russell, aka Chumley. And when I say the show was a hit, it's an understatement. Rick's vision had come to life. He used this platform to enlighten the public about the often misunderstood pawn industry. His efforts even earned him the prestigious Pawnbroker of the Year award from the National Pawnbrokers Association. By January 2011, Pawn Stars had skyrocketed to become the highest-rated program on the History Channel. The only reality show with higher ratings was The Jersey Shore. Rick's influence was further cemented on June 7, 2011, when he published his biography, License to Pawn, Deals, Steals, and My Life at the Gold and Silver, which quickly climbed to number 22 on the New York Times bestseller list. The Harrisons' charm and expertise even took them beyond their own show.
Nah, I'm not sure where my friends went, but they'll be back. I'm just gonna count our money.
They made memorable guest appearances on popular TV shows like iCarly in the episode I Lost My Head in Vegas. Rick also starred as an antique store owner in the middle episode titled The Safe.
I'll give you $40.
Really?
Yep.
As if that wasn't impressive enough, Rick became the face of the Micro Touch 1 razor. In January 2014, promoting the men's shaving product line in a widely seen television commercial.
For almost 100 years, the single blade was the best way to shave. Soldiers, presidents, even my pops used one.
That same year, History premiered United Stuff of America, a fascinating series from the creators of Pawn Stars that highlighted significant historical artifacts, like Andrew Jackson's cane and Abraham Lincoln's axe. By July 2014, the Harrisons were back with Pawnography, a game show where Rick, Corey, and Chumley competed against contestants to protect their prized inventory. However, with the highs came heartbreaking lows for the Harrisons. Their lives took a devastating turn in January 2024, when Rick's son, Adam, tragically passed away from a drug overdose. Adam, who had worked at the pawn shop and later pursued a career as a plumber, had no desire to appear on the show, as Corey revealed in a 2016 HuffPost article. This loss cast a shadow over the family, a stark reminder of life's fragility. Rick's personal life was a roller coaster of its own. He got divorced from Tracy in 2011, and just a year later announced his engagement to Deanna Burdett in 2012. Their wedding took place on July 21, 2013, in Laguna Beach, California, and was a star-studded affair officiated by Counting Cars star Danny Coker, with Chum Lee as the ring bearer. This union brought Rick 3 stepdaughters, Serena, Sienna, and Marissa. However, this marriage, too, ended in September 2020. Setback after setback, heartbreak after heartbreak, but Rick didn't give up on love. And soon, in 2021, Rick found love again and married Amanda Palmer, turning a new page in his journey. Let's hope this new chapter works out for Rick. Just like his personality, Rick Harrison's political views are also unique and bold. In the 2018 interview on the Fox News program Life, Liberty, and Levin, Harrison described himself as more of a libertarian than a conservative. He passionately told host Mark Levin that history proves less government leads to a better economy. But Harrison doesn't just talk politics. He actively throws his weight behind candidates he believes can make a difference. For instance, he strongly supported Donald Trump's bid for president and rallied behind Daniel Rodimer in Nevada's 3rd congressional district race in 2020. Always ambitious, he even toyed with the idea of running for governor of Nevada in 2022. And did you know that a year back, Harrison openly entertained the idea of running for the U.S. Senate? In a March 2023 interview with the Las Vegas Review-Journal, he expressed that he had numerous conversations within the party and remained open-minded. But despite his troubles in personal life and political views, you can't deny the fact that he's the real deal in his pawn shop. Spending money to make money is a motto the Pawn Stars crew lives by, and Rick has certainly proven its worth time and again. Remember the time Rick Harrison left us all in awe with the incredible acquisition of Vic Flick's 1961 Fender Stratocaster guitar? This wasn't just any guitar. It was an iconic piece of rock history, played by Flick himself on the original James Bond theme and used by music legends like Tom Jones and the Beatles. The moment Vic Flick, the legendary musician, walked into the shop clutching this treasure, the atmosphere was electric. Rick's eyes widened with excitement as he realized the magnitude of the opportunity before him. Wasting no time, Rick and Vic engaged in negotiations. Every word exchanged was charged with the significance of the guitar's history and its impact on music. Rick's determination was evident. He knew he had to secure this extraordinary piece, no matter the cost. After what felt like an eternity, they finally shook hands on a deal worth $55,000. With that handshake, Rick not only secured a piece of music history, but also created one of the most memorable moments in Pawn Stars. And then there was the unforgettable day a man walked in carrying JFK's cigar box. a relic from the Oval Office itself, complete with unsmoked cigars.
These are the cigars that he was handing out that were sitting on his desk. I think they might be a little dry now.
The weight of history hung in the air once again, and Rick was ready to work his magic. In the end, Rick's persistence paid off as he secured the cigar box for $60,000, adding another priceless artifact to his collection. The deal related to the pristine 2014 Hertz-Penske GT Mustang is one of my favorites. When this bad boy, one of the first 10 ever built, made its way into the shop, the gleaming car with its powerful engine and sleek design was a sight to behold. It's no surprise that Rick's excitement was off the charts when he called in NASCAR driver Joey Logano for a test drive.
Holy.
The roar of the engine and the sheer thrill of the ride only confirmed what Rick already knew. This car had to be his. Rick sealed the deal for a cool $60,000 for this modern-day marvel. Speaking of marvels, who can forget the time Rick embarked on a mission to track down a 1915 Panama Pacific octagonal gold coin?
Doesn't take that kind of coin. It's got to be next to perfect.
This rare piece, minted to celebrate the opening of the Panama Canal, was a gem Rick simply couldn't pass up. The search led him to one of the biggest coin auctions in America, where the stakes were high and the competition fierce. The tension was thick as Rick navigated the auction, but his eyes were set on the prize. After a series of intense bids, he finally snagged the coin for $67,500. And let's not ignore the 1932 custom Ford Roadster with just 450 miles on it. This vintage but elegant vehicle had Rick and Corey hooked from the moment they saw it.
Is it a factory steel body or aftermarket steel body?
Aftermarket, remanufactured. The body came out of Detroit. The front end, the frame, the brakes, the wheels, that's all SoCal.
The car was in perfect condition, and even car custom legend Danny the Count Coker was impressed. And by now, we all know Rick has a thing for vintage beauties. After some serious back and forth, Rick secured the Roadster for $68,250. That's a lot of money, but have you ever imagined buying money with, well, money? Probably not. But hey, anything is possible at Pawn Stars. Yup, this type of deal actually happened when Rick got his hands on one of the rarest coins in American history, the 1922 Proof Piece High Relief Dollar.
Okay. Where did you get this?
I won it at a poker game, believe it or not.
The owner thought it was worth $20,000, but an expert quickly raised the stakes, valuing it between $50,000 and $100,000. The tension in the shop was as high as Mount Everest, because getting this coin meant making a huge investment. But in the end, Rick, brave as always, took the plunge, dishing out $80,000 for the coin. His ability to spot value never ceases to amaze. Then came the acquisition of the 1941 Gibson SJ200 guitar, once owned by rock legend Stephen Stills. The guitar's beauty and rarity were immediately apparent, but its connection to Stills made it truly priceless. Rick's excitement was palpable as he negotiated with the owner, knowing this was a holy grail of guitars. Rick secured the guitar for $85,000. Another unforgettable moment was when Rick acquired the 1961 Gibson SG Les Paul guitar, previously owned by Mary Ford, the wife of legendary guitarist Les Paul.
This belonged to my Aunt Mary.
Les Paul SG.
Aunt Mary just a guitar fan, or? No, Les Paul's wife.
This belonged to Mary Ford?
Mary Ford.
The initial asking price was a staggering $250,000, but Rick's negotiation skills helped him secure it for $90,000, making it his largest guitar purchase ever. The luxurious 1932 Lincoln Roadster, with its powerful V12 engine, was another highlight. The Harrisons didn't hesitate one bit about this baby. Back in 1932, Ford priced this Roadster at $4,000, which today would be about 70 grand. Quite a sum, right? But for Rick and the old man, meeting the price tag wasn't the goal. They were dead set on bringing this swanky classic home. So they threw down nearly $100,000 in cold, hard cash to seal the deal. Their gutsy move paid off big time, and the owner quickly reinvested the 95 grand he pocketed from the sale right back into buying gold from the pawn shop. And who could forget the time Rick bought over 200 pounds of silver for $111,000? The savvy investor who sold it had purchased it years earlier, and Rick recognized the potential for a tidy profit. The deal was intense, with checks to ensure the silver's purity, including some drilling to verify its authenticity. Each of these deals is a testament to Rick's genius mind in recognizing and acquiring mind-blowing items, proving time and again why Pawn Stars remains one of America's most beloved shows. But there's one deal in particular that took eccentricity to the next level. However, for Rick, this purchase meant hitting the ultimate jackpot.
These things rarely, if ever, come on the market. I'm really excited right now. I definitely want to see it, and if the price is right, I want to buy it.
Wondering what it is? Well, we're talking about original sketches that later became Maurice Sendak's beloved children's book, Where the Wild Things Are. When Rick laid eyes on these drawings, he was completely blown away.
His mother told him he was being a wild thing.
Exactly.
That was me when I was 5 years old.
These sketches immediately took Rick back to his childhood, striking a deep chord within him. Reflecting on it, Rick remarked, "As a kid, I thought it was one of the best books ever. Those pictures were unlike anything else in children's books." What made these sketches even more extraordinary was that Maurice Sendak never produced prints of his work for this book, making them truly one of a kind.
It was something about the way he painted everything. It was so different than any other children's book.
I mean, you look at all of the detail and the cross-hatching, which was signature Maurice Sendak.
After an art expert appraised the sketches at an astounding $310,000, all Rick wanted was to make them his own. With skillful negotiation and unwavering determination, he secured the deal for $250,000. This purchase remains the pinnacle of Rick's acquisitions on Pawn Stars, a testament not only to his business acumen, but also to his passion for preserving and celebrating rare treasures that capture the imagination. Do you think Rick really scored big with this purchase? What are your thoughts on all these rare and magnificent items featured on Pawn Stars? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.